So begging the question or circular argument. This is basically repeating the same claim over and over again and never providing support for the premise, or in other words, repeating the same argument over and over again without evidence. Often dogmatic thinkers don't even realize that this is a fallacy. If you repeat a claim with no proof and you just keep repeating the same claim over and over again without evidence, then this is a begging the question or a circular argument. So here are some examples of circular argument. Fallacy example. Gay marriage is just plain wrong. Why? Where are the reasons? What's your evidence? Fallacy example. Drugs are just plain bad. Bad because of what? Why? Who are the experts? What are the reasons? Where's your evidence? So here's another example of a circular argument. I can't believe people eat dogs. That's just plain gross. Why? Because it's a dog, of course. How could someone eat a dog? All right, here you have a classic example of circular argument. You're just talking in circles. So you just say, oh, I can't believe someone eats a dog. Why? Because it's a dog. Or if you were to say, I can't believe that someone is cutting down trees. Why? Because it's a tree. You just keep repeating the same claim over and over again, and you have no evidence. And so here's an example of a circular argument. Obviously, logging causes severe environmental damage. You don't have to be a scientist to see that. Just go out and look at a clear cut and see there are no trees. So here you have so what does severe environmental damage have to do with no trees? So not only is this a circular argument, it's also a non sequitur argument because you're setting up a false cause and effect relationship. So where is the evidence that logging causes severe damage, environmental damage? Where are your reasons? Who are the experts? And so in order to prove your argument, you got to have ethos and logos, besides just pathos. These arguments just have pathos. Gay marriage is just plain wrong. Drugs are just plain bad. Everything is pathos. That's gross. Once again, pathos. Where's your logos? Logic. Where's your ethos? Logic as in reasons, why. And where's your ethos, which is your credibility, the experts to tell you why that's wrong. And so politicians, both Clinton and Trump, made a lot of begging the question or circular argument fallacy statements. And it is common knowledge that most politicians simply repeat the same thing over and over again to win over the electorate because they think that's what the electorate wants to hear. And the politicians think that giving out reasons makes the speech boring or too long. And so they engage in just the begging the question, just repeating the same thing over and over again. So for Clinton, it was, I'm with her, I'm with her. Okay, why should I be with her? You see, without providing reasons, without talking about the issues, he just said, I'm with her. And same thing with Trump. He would say, make America great again. And very rarely would he talk about the issues. I remember, and so both candidates instead spend most of their time insulting each other ad hominem instead of talking about the issues. So when you keep saying over and over again a statement with no evidence, that is a circular argument. And so both candidates, both Trump and Clinton, were guilty of begging the question or circular argument fallacy. And both candidates were dogmatic thinkers who didn't even realize that they were committing a fallacy. And so if you repeat a claim with no proof, and you just keep repeating the same claim over and over again without evidence, then this is a circular argument fallacy. So how many times on TV do you hear politicians say the same thing over and over again? I think for Trump, it's like, I'm going to have Mexico pay for the wall. Okay, how is Mexico going to pay for the wall? He said it over and over again and never provided proof of how he's going to have Mexico pay for the wall. So once again, this is a begging the question or circular argument when you say the same thing over and over again without proof or without support or without saying how. So both the Democrats and the Republicans are guilty of this because they think that the American public not smart enough to realize that it's a fallacy. So what I want my students to realize by taking this critical thinking class is to learn that certain things, if someone says something over and over again without proof, then that is a fallacy. That is a circular argument. And once you can discern what something is a fallacy or not, you can learn to make up your own mind, question everything, and then you can make your own informed decision on what to believe and what not to believe. And the difference between fact and propaganda, fact from fiction, fact from fallacy. So this ends my video on begging the question or circular argument fallacy.